Well, welcome to Free and to our online community joining us. We're so happy to have you with us tonight. Hopefully it's warmer where you're at than it is here.
I know it's warmer where the Canadays are at.
I know. The Canadays are not joining us. They are soaking in some sun and fun and hopefully getting some relaxation somewhere much warmer.
Yep, on a beach somewhere.
Yeah, a lot warmer. So we're not jealous or anything at all. Not even a little bit.
2 degrees outside.
My name is Abby, and I'm the home team lead here at Free, and this is Noelle. She is the community director here at Free. Yeah. And what we are is a place for addicts, loved ones of addicts, and spiritual refugees. And we are working to break the silence of addiction while creating space for community, connection, and recovery. But there is one thing that we do not do here.
It's true, Abby.
And if you know it, feel free to shout it out. If you aren't aware of what it is that we don't do, it's on the screen. And I'll count to 3. 1, 2, 3. We don't do shame.
Left side of the building really
that,
held it down
really,
today.
Like,
really got
the
it.
Right side. They really carried
right
it.
Side, you got to bring it next week.
I know,
okay?
we need it more. But we do a lot of cool things. Noelle, do you want to let us know what we do?
That's true. If it's your first night here, welcome. We are so grateful that you're here with us tonight. We have a welcome bag for you. And inside it has a little bit about what we do here at Free Recovery Community, has a little bit about what Wagon Coffee does. There's some fresh roasted Wagon Coffee in this bag and then some free swag. So please get with a home team member. Those are the nice people who are greeting you on your way in, or a staff member, and we'll get you a welcome bag. Next up, on January 21st, it's a Sunday from 9 to 5, we are having a Grounded Warrior retreat here. And I know Kira is going to be bringing the sound bowls. Maggie Barfoot is hosting this and has an incredible lineup of 5 different practitioners hosting this retreat. It'll be here at Free during the day. You need to bring your own lunch. It's $50. But if you know anything about Maggie Barfoot, she does our trauma-informed recovery for us. It's going to be an incredible event. So if you're looking for just some healing, mind, body, and spirit, and some connection, some community, this is a great opportunity to do so. So you can register online or get with Kira after service, and she can tell you a little bit more about it. On January 20th, so this is a week from today, we will be having our next panel discussion. For those of you who joined us for our F-Fentanyl series in August, we are doing a panel discussion next week. It's going to be set up very similar, but this is a panel discussion for the loved one. So a toolkit on how to put the oxygen mask on, how to cope with your loved one's addiction while they're in the trenches. So this panel discussion is appropriately named the Oxygen Mask Playbook. So please join us next week. The panel discussion kicks off at 7 p.m. We'll have a food truck outside, so free food for the first 70 people right outside here. Amy Moore is going to be bringing a little bit of a pre-party to the panel discussion. So in this room, she'll be debunking intervention. She's a professional interventionist.
I love it when she speaks.
Yep,
she has a lot of good insight.
If you guys know Amy Moore, it'll be a great time. So please join us next week. The panel discussion itself kicks off at 7. And then Carrie, our community ambassador, has an incredible lineup that's going to be out in the cafe, a ton of resources. If you're just, if you're a loved one who's struggling or you're struggling yourself, there's going to be a ton of booths out there for you to grab resources. So join us next week. Grab some free food if you're one of the first 70 people, and then the food truck opens up to purchase food. And it's going to be a great night. Rev Ryan's going to moderate that for us.
It's going to be such an incredible evening.
Yeah, absolutely. So January 25th, we are kicking off our 2024 Sober Open Mic Series. So we team up with the Phoenix on this, and we do it every other month, and it's always the 4th Thursday of every month. So it's in this room here. Abby, you always MC that for us. It's always a great time.
Yeah, it's a really good time.
So if you are looking to perform, please register. Tyler, I hope you've registered. Mr. Saxophone player, he's on it. Okay, great. We usually take about 15 registrants. How do you say it? Registrants.
Registrants?
Can't say words. It's cold.
Registrations?
So we take about 15. So please register if you plan on performing, and if you plan on attending, we'd love to have you. It's a great time.
It is a great time, and a lot of people performing for the first time sober. So it's so much talent in this community.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
it's really, really cool to see. Lastly, we have been doing a blessing bag drive over the last month. And we are going to be putting a pause on the event itself, the stuffing of the bags that we were going to have next Sunday. What we found was we were collecting a ton of items, but 3 particular items, and we need to be more intentional with our wording and our needs to create the bags themselves. So we still will be collecting items over the next couple weeks, but we're going to rework our messaging around that, so we're a little bit more intentional with communicating what we need before we have a stuffing event where we're giving these bags out to the homeless. So pause on next Sunday, go to the Grounded Warrior Retreat instead, and then we'll reconvene with the Blessing Bag Brunch in February.
Is there anything that we're needing that you can know of right out, like an immediate need?
Not toothbrushes.
Lots of toothbrushes.
But we're collecting items like dental floss, shampoo, conditioner, toiletry items. And so the hope is that we will stuff these bags to be able to give them to the homeless. But we got a ton of toothbrushes and those toothpaste. But yeah, thanks for asking.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Noelle.
Yeah.
We appreciate you. All right, so how we kick things off here on a Saturday night is with celebrations. And we like to start with the good. We believe that God is with us in the celebrations. And if you're online with us, feel free to drop your celebrations in the YouTube comments or the Facebook comments. And we can celebrate anything. If it's a sober birthday, you bought a new house, you have a new baby, a promotion at work, we'll take 3 minutes to celebrate together as a community. Just raise your hand, and Austin and Derek will bring you a mic.
I'm Paige, and I go back to college on Tuesday.
Woo!
I'm Tyler, and after a 5-year pause, I started teaching music, elementary music this week. So.
Yay! That's amazing. If you heard Tyler last week, he played the saxophone, and it was incredible.
I'm Kat, and I'm celebrating 8 months clean today.
Woo! Way to go!
Hi, my name is Charlie, and I'm celebrating 80 days sober today.
Way to go, Charlie. Anybody else? Stick your hands up.
Hello, my name is Rachel, and I just celebrated 3 years of sobriety on January 11th.
Way to go. Congratulations, Rachel.
Hi, I'm Ryan. Today, my girlfriend has 6 months.
Way to go. That's incredible.
My name's Nate, 6 months clean.
Way to go, Nate. Anybody else? Keep those hands up. Nobody else?
I'm Noelle, and I want to celebrate Tyler. 4 months ago, maybe 4 months ago, you came and you had a heartache and you were 7 days off fentanyl and you were just really struggling. And then the next week, you were in celebrations, just celebrating your sobriety. And then just to see you perform last week and then just be teaching music 4 months later, it's just really profound to see your recovery. And thank you for sharing, Tyler.
Great. Thank you so much, Noelle.
I'm Chase. By the grace of God, I just celebrated my 30th birthday yesterday.
Yay! Happy birthday, Chase! We're so glad to have you with us.
My name is Tracy, and we're celebrating that we all got together and we're writing a book about early recovery to help reach other people who might be able to identify with us. If anyone's interested in being a part of that, please come and see me. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Tracy. All right, we have time for one more. Paul, right here in the front.
Tomorrow would have been my parents' 70th anniversary, which is awesome. But I have been going through a heck of a season since I helped them pass away. And as of tonight, it met its resolution, and God delivered me out of some really weird circumstances. And I'm just blown away. So, yeah, great day.
Thank you for sharing. Mr. Alt, Mr. Chase Alt, would you like to come join me up here for to celebrate with our online community? Do you want to grab the mic? All right, Natasha Bellamy. Hi there, Natasha Mers here, Christopher's wife. Just want to give thanks and praise. Seems the Lord is making the impossible possible and bringing our family back together. If you didn't know, Chris is part of our tech team, so yeah.
Ms. Harris, God is good. Congratulations to Frank and Natasha.
Ashley Ray Mail, celebrating 1 week clean. Way to go, Ashley. That's such good news.
Celebrating 73 days clean from meth and alcohol.
Way to go, Juanita.
Wow, to
That's
Juanita.
amazing. Oh, it's Kai. Hi, Kai.
Hi, Kai.
Celebrating 302 days free of fentanyl. Yeah, you are, Kai. James Ashley Jr., 9 months clean, God is good, better.
There you go,
Way to go, James.
Danny, celebrating my brother's Saxon's
Sepulveda
on 13 days of sobriety. Keep
Way
it
to
up.
go.
Way to go.
We're celebrating with you, Danny. Thanks for chiming in. Debbie Davis, my brother-in-law did not have a heart attack. That diagnosis was an error. Praise God. Thanks for praying. Oh, Debbie, we're so glad to hear it. Glad you're watching. We miss you tonight. Derek Bunyan, celebrating my home group getting to have Saturday night meetings for the first time since COVID, thanks to Free. Starting February 3rd, we'll be having Friday and Saturday meetings in the big room. Oh, we're so glad to hear that, Derek. And that's it. Well, you guys, thank you so much. And thank you. This is my husband, you guys. So Chase Alt, he is the co-head team lead here. So he greets people not in a creepy way. So Ryan isn't here, and he actually asked that I would deliver the message. And I'm really honored to be here with you. You know, in Mere Christianity, C.S. Lewis wrote, "No man knows how bad he is until he has tried very hard to be good." You know, at 16, I stood before our congregation, much like I am right now, in front of my parents and our pastor. This was a familiar space, a place I had spent Wednesday nights at youth group, Sundays at church. I knew all the songs. I had just come back from the winter retreat, and I had memorized all the scripture. I desperately wanted to embody the image of a devoted Christian girl seeking salvation. I wanted to be saved. In honor of God, my family, and my future, I commit to pursuing a life of sexual purity. It encourages making a lifetime commitment to honoring God with my body, renewing my mind for the good, turning my eyes from worthless things, and guarding my heart above all else. I proudly shared that purity pledge and my testimony of how I had accepted Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. And it wasn't long after that I broke that purity pledge. Yeah, it happens. It also wasn't long before I started having nightmares. And in these nightmares, I would always dream of two things. One was that a nuclear war had started, or the rapture was happening. And both of these seemed absolutely terrifying to me. And in my nightmares of nuclear war, I would always dream that right as the bomb went off, I would go to scream, and everything that I love would turn to dust. And in my dreams of the rapture, and if you're not familiar with what the rapture is, it is a Christian teaching where believers will get pulled to heaven to join Jesus, and non-believers, well, they'll be left behind, or worse, sent to hell. And in my dreams, I was never one of the ones that was getting pulled up to go meet Jesus. I would wake up just before I was getting ready to be tossed into the flames, my mouth ready to scream, "I'm so sorry, Jesus. I'm sorry. I'll be better. I'm sorry I wasn't good enough." And it marked the beginning of an internalizing a sense of unworthiness, that I was tainted, damaged goods. This feeling lingered, staining my self-worth and weighing me down with shame for letting down God and not being who my parents expected me to be. Despite being bright, I never really felt like I should prioritize school, and college wasn't really an option for me. So, feeling lost and seeking a change, I chose a different path. I was going to join the Air Force. This decision marked a turning point in my life, a moment when I aimed for improvement. Struggling with rebellion, depression, and anger, my decision to join the Air Force was the first time in ages that I felt my parents' pride. And there I was at Fort Hamilton in Brooklyn, at the Military Entrance Processing Station, better known as MEPS, where candidates are evaluated. I went through all the various tests. I took a career aptitude test, a physical endurance test. I walked like a duck. If you know, you know. I took a drug test, a urine test, and I answered 1 million questions. And after it was all finished, I could almost imagine how proud my dad was going to be of me. My life was moving in a different direction. This was so good. And while I was waiting to be sworn in, I was unexpectedly called to a small office, and the news that was delivered in that office left me stunned. The feeling of shame overwhelmed me. I anticipated everyone's profound disappointment in me, because back then, female enlistees faced disqualification from military service due to pregnancy. To enter the military, options included delaying enlistment until after marriage and childbirth, or ensuring non-pregnancy status at the time of joining. And I'll tell you, it's a long bus ride back from Brooklyn to Long Island, New York. And those two options ate at me. I could almost hear God yelling. God yelling to me, "Men want wives who are pure and good. Not you. Not me." I recall the moment vividly when I shared with my father that I had received a medical disqualification due to having too much protein in my urine. The familiar sight of disappointment on his face was a look I had seen many times before. After all, sinners might as well be liars too, right? Amidst my growing isolation, my depression, and concerns about my mental state, my parents, not knowing the full extent of what I had been going through, sent me to go see a Christian psychologist. And I disliked everything about this woman. She was an older woman. She was in a wheelchair. And I so badly wanted to unburden myself and share this heavy, dirty secret that I had been carrying. And so I told her. And my version of this story goes like this. She looked at me with absolute disgust and disappointment and told me that I needed to pray and beg God for forgiveness. Now, I don't know if that's actually how this story happened, or if this is the story that I have told myself. It's hard to tell with these shame stories that we tell ourselves. It was like a nuclear bomb had gone off and destroyed everything that I loved. And I knew God couldn't forgive somebody like me. I was unforgivable. Nobody could love me. How could my parents love me? I was unlovable. And my life, it started to spiral. And the only thing that seemed to quiet the shame, guilt, fear, and brokenheartedness was men, alcohol, and drugs. The term brokenhearted signifies being shattered into pieces. Imagine taking a mirror and throwing it on the ground, and you look down and you see yourself through all of those shattered fragments, resembling parts of yourself. In the aftermath of trauma, our inner world often fractures, and we can find ourselves enveloped in the shards of our own suffering, erecting barriers around our wounded hearts, compromised of bricks made of shame and guilt. Overwhelmed by the weight of these past experiences and actions, we retreat to our broken selves. Proverbs chapter 18, verse 14 touches on this. The human spirit can endure in sickness, but a crushed spirit, who can bear? You know, in certain translations of the Bible, the term crushed in spirit is likened to being contrite in heart or spirit. And the definition of contrite is, 1, full of guilt or regret, remorseful, arising from a sense of shame or guilt, the deep remorse for one's transgressions. You know, when one experiences being crushed in spirit, it's akin to carrying an unbearable weight, a heaviness so profound that it seems almost inescapable. I've personally experienced the overwhelming burden of what I carried, a weight that seemed impossible to shed, leaving me feeling absolutely crushed. David, who I believe to be one of the most traumatized people in the Bible, declared in Psalms 34:18, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." And in Psalm 147, verse 3, David ups the ante and says that God heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds, that there is a hope and a promise that no matter how shattered you are or how much trauma you have been through, that God is the God who heals the brokenhearted. God not only heals us, but he binds up our wounds too. God brings shattered pieces of our broken heart back together so that we can feel whole again. Sounds wonderful, right? But what happens when your spirit is so crushed, your brokenness so deep, your shame, guilt, and addiction so strong that it feels as if God has forsaken you? That God is mad at you, or even worse, that God is disappointed in you, and that he has turned his back on you, that you are unlovable, that you are so broken, it feels as if you are incapable of being made whole. About a month ago, Pastor Ryan discussed one of my favorite stories in the Bible, which is of Jesus and the woman at the well. And I really wanted to do a deeper dive because the story resonates so much for me. In John chapter 4, verses 4 through 42, we read about Jesus' conversation with a lone Samaritan woman who had come to get water from a well known as Jacob's Well, located in a place called Samaria. John chapter 4, verse 5, so he came to a town of Samaria called Sychar, near the field that Jacob had given to his son Joseph. Jacob's well was there, so Jesus, wearied as he was from his journey, was sitting beside the well, and it was about the 6th hour. Now, I had to look this up, but it would have been about noon. A woman from Samaria came to draw water, and Jesus said to her, "Give me a drink," for his disciples had gone away into the city to buy food. And the Samaritan woman said to him, "How is it that you, a Jew, ask for a drink from me, a woman from Samaria? For Jews have no dealings with Samaritans." This woman at the well was a Samaritan, a race of people that the Jews utterly despised, and she was an outcast and looked down upon by her own people. You see, during biblical times, drawing water and chatting at the well was the social high point gathering of a woman's day. It's where you'd meet up with all the other women of the town and catch up. And this woman had come alone to draw water from a community well. After asking the Samaritan woman for a drink, he responds by offering her something greater. And he says, Jesus answered her, "If you knew the gift of God and who it is that asks you for a drink, you would have asked him and he would have given you living water." And if we continue in the story, John 4:16 through 19, he told her, "Go call your husband and come back." "Well, I have no husband," she replied. And Jesus said to her, "You are right when you say you have no husband. The fact is, you have had 5 husbands. And the man you now have is not your husband. What you have said is quite true." "Sir," the woman said, "I can see that you are a prophet." You see, this woman was ostracized and deemed as immoral, an unmarried woman living openly with the 6th in a series of men. She was considered the lowest of the low. And one thing that I love about this story of the woman at the well is that it teaches us that God loves us unconditionally, despite our flawed lives. Jesus approaches her and he sees her without shame or condemnation. He sees and acknowledges her in a manner that fosters love, not judgment. He shields rather than exposes. He restores rather than diminishes. He doesn't turn away from the ugly, painful, broken aspects of her life. Instead, he brings forth the truth of who she is. "Let's face what's real," he tells her. "Let's speak the truth. No more lies. No more faking it. I see who you are, and I love you." And all Jesus asks in return is, "Now see who I am." You know, the first time I attended Free, Pastor Ryan had everyone line up, and while we were anointed with holy oil from the Holy Land, I vividly recall him looking me in my eyes and saying, "You are supremely good. God is pleased." Only someone like the Samaritan woman, an outcast from her own people, could truly grasp what this meant. To be wanted, to be cared for, when no one, not even herself, could see value within her. You see, I was desperate for a spiritual life that I did not have. And living water can only be obtained by those who are spiritually thirsty. And I was dying of thirst. But I could only see God through the lens of my fear, my disappointment, my trauma, my feelings of unworthiness, of being unlovable and incapable of receiving grace. You see, shame keeps you fixated on you, but love allows you to see everything else. And you might find yourself among the many like me who have drifted away from religious institutions, yet still yearn for connection, hope, and community. But remember, your distance from these institutions does not mean that God has distanced themselves from you. Jesus said in the Gospel of Thomas, "Split a piece of wood, and I'm there. Lift up a stone, and you will find me there." You see, your relationship with God does not have to be found within the walls of a religious institution. Remember, God has never abandoned you, because within you is where God resides. And my friends, in our pursuit of healing and spiritual growth, it's crucial to understand it's not about appearing flawless. It's about embracing life's messiness and allowing God to reveal the falsehoods that hinder us. You know, sometimes when we're on social media, it portrays this perfect image filled with beautifully scripted prayers, these gorgeous journals that flow so freely, all with a cup of tea and coffee. But yet the true path to healing is rugged, demanding, and far from perfect. Authentic healing and genuine spiritual growth go beyond appearances. They emerge from a raw, sometimes uncomfortable journey of embracing our vulnerabilities and allowing God to uncover the lies that shape our lives. This journey involves partnering with God to uproot the unhealthy behaviors that hold us captive. It demands facing the truth and letting go of what doesn't serve us. And guys, this can be a painful task. This journey isn't just for the pictures on social media. It's about confronting our deepest fears, letting God shine light into our hearts, and navigating discomfort that sheds what's holding us back. Walking with God through this, it asks for deep trust. It's about trusting that God is right beside us as we navigate the sometimes agonizing process of bidding farewell to the very things we thought defined us. Trusting that even in the moments of intense grief over what we're releasing, God remains present, offering solace and guiding us toward a deeper understanding of God's purpose for our lives. So don't be discouraged by the messiness of this healing journey. Instead, let us find hope and strength in this transformative process. As we cooperate with God, we're led to a place of profound healing, freedom, and a deeper connection with God and ourselves. You know, I don't know what story you've lived or believed, but I do know without a doubt that God holds a better story for you, that recovery holds a better story for you, a story that liberates you from your past pain and trauma, not to escape it, but to transform it so it no longer holds power over our lives, allowing us to live freely and unashamed. And I'll close with this. Kintsugi is a Japanese art that repairs broken pottery with gold, rendering a new piece that is more exquisite than it was before the break. It literally means to join with gold. In Suffer Strong by Catherine and Jay Wolfe, they write, "The story of Kintsugi, this style of pottery, may be the most perfect embodiment of all of our trauma-shattered lives. Instead of throwing away the broken, beloved pottery, we'll fix it in a way that doesn't pretend it hasn't been broken, but honors the breaking, and more so the surviving, by highlighting those repaired seams with gold lacquer. Now the object is functional once again and dignified, not discarded. It's stronger and even more valuable because of its reinforced gold scars." Rather than hiding our flaws, Kintsugi celebrates the art of repair. Imperfections hold their own beauty and worth, and a broken piece, once reassembled, tells a deeper story, rating authenticity and strength surpassing its original state. Each step, the break, the careful reconstruction, the addition of gold, it adds immeasurable value. Surprisingly, it becomes stronger after Kintsugi, even more resilient than it was before. Much like Kintsugi, our identity isn't defined by our imperfections. Instead, they enrich us. Our scars aren't something we should hide. They're golden threads in the tapestry of our life's fabric. So my friends, let's embrace the painful, the fragmented, and the imperfect, and understand that we're not viewed as damaged goods, but Kintsugi art. Each flaw delicately restored by an incredible artist, God. And within our brokenness lies immeasurable beauty and pride in the eyes of this divine creator. I'm going to play a song. And the song is by an artist who is also in active recovery. And I want us to do a little something different. This is more of an upbeat song. So you can either kind of dance. I'll be dancing over here. I dance to the song. I play this whenever I have to remind myself that I'm a stronger version of who I once was. But what I really want to encourage you to do is turn around. Whoever's sitting behind you, whoever's sitting next to you in a row down, take a moment and just introduce yourself. Broaden your horizon. Get to know the people in your community so that we are there as the gold in the cracks of others' fragments. So, I hope that you have fun the last service. It got really loud in here, so don't be quiet. Let's have fun. And let's listen to Tom McDonald, Stronger Version. You guys, thank you. That was fun. All right, if you're new with us, you should know that every Saturday night we have a guest storyteller who joins us in the living room. But I decided to do something a little different this time. Dad's out of town, so I was like, you know what? We're gonna try something different. Yeah. And so I'll start with telling you kind of about how this came to be. And I was doing that where you scroll aimlessly on social media, Instagram, and I came across a video of a guy with a really heavy Boston accent, and he was going around and meeting homeless men who were struggling with addiction and offering them recovery and a chance to get a job. And I watched him speak to he was not well. His name was Ryan. And then I was hooked, and I was like, I'm diving in. And I started watching after video, and then there was the video of Troy, who is a heroin addict who you can hear the desperation in his voice. And so I was like, I'm going to order a shirt from this guy. And I ordered 2 shirts, and you guys, my shirts never came. And he's watching tonight. Hi, Victor. And I reached out to him and I said, hey, where's my shirts? And he was very responsive, and he let me know that there was an issue and that my shirts would be coming, and if I forgot about it. And then a few weeks later, I still hadn't gotten my shirt. So I reached out again, and he said, very responsive, and he said, I am going to send you your shirts, and not only am I going to send you your shirts, but I'm going to send you a little bit more merch. And I said, I don't want more merch. I said, but how you can make this up to me is I need a guest storyteller for January 13th. So that's how we came to have Victor Oliveira. He is known to his millions of TikTok followers as Victor the Good Boss, be our guest storyteller. And we did it a little different, so take a look.
Offering a young homeless man a job.
What's up, bro? What's your name? Ryan, I'm Vic. I'm not really here for the dollar. I want to offer you a job.
What's that? I'd love to do anything you need, sir.
I'm being serious.
I'm serious, sir.
Okay.
I love to work, man.
All right. You have any experience with anything?
I have lots of experience with a lot of different
Pull up a
things.
little
The
bit.
only problem right now, sir, is someone stole my glasses, so my vision's not 100%.
Okay.
But I mean, it's not stopping me. I'm still...
Okay, well, I mean, I'm sure I can help you out and get some glasses. If you work out well and you want to stay.
Absolutely, sir.
Right,
I've done all sorts of stuff. I've done painting, I've done carpentry, I've done demolition, helped build like porches and stuff down in Florida.
Okay, where are you from?
I'm from Western Massachusetts,
Okay.
way out west, rotating.
So you're capable of working?
Yes, sir. I love to work, man. I've been working since I was 14.
Okay. It's my direct number. Hey, bro! Bro! Hey! I just figured...
Hey, too.
I figured I'd turn around and talk to you more.
Yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate that.
So-
I can literally do a few hours for free right now if you want.
I appreciate that. I wouldn't have you do that now. It's too late.
Yeah.
But if you're really, really serious, where do you live?
I live on 13.
So you live here in Salem?
Yeah, Salem.
So you're not homeless. You're staying in a home.
Yeah, I couch hop between my 2 families, my brother and my mother.
Okay.
But,
And what's your drug of choice?
My drug of choice is usually, I'm not going to lie.
Okay. No, listen, I'd rather be honest, man.
Yeah, no.
I have 11 years clean.
Honesty usually gets you a little further away, but
do you ever think
people,
about stopping?
Yeah, no. As a matter of fact, I have. Like, I literally just went into the hospital the other day. I mean, my girl needs me, and my mom needs me, and she's dying. And
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
No. It's just, I don't get a bone thrown to me to try, at least.
So let me tell you this.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to be emotional,
It's
but
okay.
I mean, like, I will try. I mean,
okay, I
I'd be the
appreciate
hardest
this.
worker in the world. I
can
need
see
to
that
save
in
these
you.
lives. I mean, I'm
see
tired
that.
of doing this, bro.
Listen, I do this as much as I can. It's okay to cry.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Don't worry about it. I do this as much as I can. Not many people take me at my offer, but what I do require is that they.
I was literally going to run home into my mom's and actually call you. I just didn't really.
I appreciate that. It's okay.
I never get opportunities like this. I know.
Yeah.
A lot of people look at me like I don't want to do anything. I put 100% in what I do, 100%. And
That's awesome. I respect you for that.
I need to.
You need to, number one, you need to come off the heroin. That's the biggest thing. And you can, with the help of me if you want.
Yeah,
I really mean this.
And my addiction level's nowhere near what it used to be.
Correct.
Like, I mean, it's been so tough that I've just been, been trying to focus on my girl and my mom.
I was addicted to opiates. 11 years, over 11 years clean I have. So, I will do, I thought that was a bug. I will do whatever it takes to help you if you really want it. And when I say that, I mean I'll put you through treatment, get you clean, and then you come work for me as long as you're clean, and I will give you an amazing chance at life.
Are Are you serious?
I'm positive, dude.
Dude, I'll hop in this truck right now.
Don't make me cry.
Serious. No, I mean, if you're that serious, I will hop in this truck
dead
right
serious.
now and go wherever.
Hi, Victor. Thank you so much for joining us. Joining me today is known on TikTok to his millions of followers as Victor the Good Boss. With him are two incredible gentlemen who I'm so excited to have join us. We have Ryan and Troy. This is the first time we've done a guest storyteller spot like this with Free. And I kind of just want to jump right in. Victor, let us know a little bit about how recovery came to be a part of your life.
Recovery first started when I had to go to prison, and going to prison was a real big part of my life because it made me realize that there's so much good in life, and when you're in active addiction, you're just in a bubble. You don't know what's going on. And me getting clean, it was truly amazing. And the fact that I knew that I could help other people just based off of my knowledge that I've learned, my sobriety, it's been a real big part of my life, just helping other people get clean and sober, because it's so possible. And it's not easy, but as long as you have someone by your side, it's so possible.
Is there somebody that was really influential in your life and in your recovery that kind of set that standard? Or is this something that you felt was missing in your life, so you wanted to incorporate that into the lives of others?
I'd have to say the way that my mother is, she'd always do anything for anyone. And I feel like that kind of, motivated me to just help people. I don't know. I love helping people, no matter what it is.
And you shared with me that you currently have 12 years of sobriety. Isn't that correct?
Almost. February 24th will be 12 years.
That's amazing. We don't do any frontsies here, but that's a pretty durable recovery. Tell me how much your life has changed in recovery. What is the most influential thing that you've noticed?
That I could own a business and be a great boss, great business owner, to be a great dad, family man. That's really it.
So your motto is you're known as Victor the Good Boss. And I'm actually wearing your shirt, and on the sleeve it says, good bosses don't just hire, they inspire.
Yeah. So everyone would love to work for a good boss. And my message for, it's been a while now. I've just been given the message to be a good boss, because employees will do better if they have a good boss, if they're around a good work environment. And it's the truth. A good boss doesn't just hire, they inspire, because they will inspire their employees to do better. Maybe one of their employees wants to start their own business. It'll inspire them to prosper in life. And it's just, overall, to be a good boss, everything's great.
He works right next to his employees, like he'll get in the ditch and start digging a hole right next to you, like he leads by example. And I think that's a really big thing. He's not just behind a desk telling people what to do. He's like right there on the front lines getting dirty with all of his employees.
That's awesome. And that is how you truly are a good leader, is that you'll do what you ask your employees to do, right? So
That's
Ryan
right,
and
yes.
Troy, I'm so excited that you're here with us. I'm so excited that Victor invited you to join us. You are actually the reason why I started following Victor. I was so excited to meet you. I almost feel like you're celebrities. The video that we show is kind of you meeting Ryan. Ryan and Troy, tell us a little bit about what recovery has meant in your life. How long have you been sober now? And tell us how much that's impacted your life.
Well, I have been sober for 106 days in total. It's impacted my life a great deal. A lot of relationships that I've been missing in my life has come back to me, even stronger. And I've been able to, meet a community of people through TikTok and Instagram and stuff where I get to hear everyone's story that makes me feel more like, not alone, not isolated anymore. I've experienced a few traumas in my life, and with the help of Victor and Ryan, like I didn't only just get inspired to be a better person, but I also wanted to help other people too. Like eventually I do want to become an EMT, and but I got to go back to school and I got to do the steps to get that place. And Victor made it possible for Ryan and I to be roommates, and now we're sobros. And I haven't been happier. So it truly was a 360 for me.
Ryan, tell us a little bit about what recovery has done in your life. I mean, you look so different compared to the video in which we've seen. I mean, you just look so healthy and so full of life. I once heard it described as you got the life shine in your eyes now. So tell us a little bit about how recovery has positively impacted your life.
Recovery has positively impacted my life in just about every way I could think of, and then so many more ways I couldn't even think of, could never even imagine. Like I was like only 11 years old when I started using drugs, and like my whole life I just never thought I had a problem. I never thought about it like until I got to like the point of no return and was homeless, living on the streets, and getting clean. Like it showed me like I can truly be happy and just love life, be motivated. Like doorways have been opening up that I never even knew were possible. Like I'm trying to go to school right now to be a recovery coach, and like just work is great, like loving life. Like I never thought I would ever be happy in my life, and now like I'm happy about everything. I very rarely have a bad day, and even if I do have a bad day, it's not so much a bad day, just a bad point in the day. And I try to always be positive, and it's just brought family closer to me. It's given me like friends that I'll have for the rest of my life, like Victor and Troy. They're truly amazing people, and I love these guys. And like it's made me a better person, like more understanding, and compassionate towards people. And it's been giving me a chance to help other people too. And like that right there is the best thing. Like I never even thought would ever come up with this whole thing.
So obviously, Victor, something that is so obvious about you is how important acts of service and being of service to others is in your life. Can you kind of talk about how being of service and doing for others has changed your life and benefited you in not only your recovery, but as a business owner, as a person, as a father, as a man?
Well, I gotta say, just seeing the change, of these, not only these two guys here, but the many other people that I've helped. Some of them, weren't homeless; they were just in addiction, and just seeing them doing well in life, it's really big to me. It really touches my heart, because you could be gone any day. Let's be real. You could go and use and just be gone. And the fact that they're now clean and sober, they have, much more life to them. And it's just a great feeling knowing that they can now become something that they deserve. So that is really big to me. And, they can have their kids in their life if they have kids. It's just a lot more light comes out of the situation.
It's so incredible. It's how our lives kind of change and evolve. And I guess, just kind of wanting to just get from the three of you and go really in depth of what would be your message to people who are still stuck in that active cycle of addiction, who are, struggling, and they're saying, but you don't know how bad I have it. I can't get out of this. This won't work for me. What would you tell that person? What would your message be to those people that are watching online, who are sitting in our, in our sanctuary today? Tell them, how you can help. Like, what is your message of hope?
nobody's too far gone to be saved. If you even got a single breath left, then you can change your life around for the better, you know.
Everyone has it bad in their own ways, and there is help. You can definitely do it. It's not going to be easy, to tell you the truth, but it's so possible. And once you get past, the worst part, which I think is the 7-day detox, that's the worst part in my mind. After that, there's no drugs in your system. It's all in your mind, and it's so possible. You just need to put your foot down and say, I'm doing this, and get someone that loves you, someone that supports you, and just stick with them. And you can do it. I guarantee you can do it.
Yeah. Your mind's going to play tricks on you after those 7 days, and it's going to tell you that you can't do this, you can't do this. But you got to dig in real deep into your heart and know that there's a light in you still. And as long as there's a little flicker of light, you can burn bright. So, just keep fighting, fight on.
Never give up. If you relapse, if you screw up, get back up. Don't stay down. Get back up and fight.
Gotta learn from your mistakes.
That's right. That's right.
In the words of Denzel Washington, if you're going to fall forward.
That's right. If you're going to fall
Amen to
hard,
that.
yeah, and if you're going to fall hard, come back harder. Be stronger.
So what's next for you guys? What's coming up for you guys? What's your next adventure?
Every day's an adventure.
Yeah, every day's an adventure. We just, I think now they have the addiction of helping people, but I'm like eager to find the next person to help, and I haven't found that person yet. So they're always going to be a big part of the next person.
For those people that want to follow you and want to stay connected, we will drop your TikTok handles and Instagram handles in the descriptions. And, if you were going to close with anything at all, if this was the one thing that you wanted people to remember about you and about this conversation, what would that be?
Well, the biggest thing I would say is reach out. If you really want to get help, reach out to us, number one. And you have one chance on this earth. Just make it the best. Make today be the day, not tomorrow, not next week, not next New Year's resolution. Like Ryan says, do it now. Make it today.
Amen to that. Ryan, I love your great smile. You got a beautiful smile. It's so good to see. Yeah, and I will
Troy
definitely
got
be
one
following. Let me see, Troy.
Yeah, Troy got one too.
Me too. I got a new one too. Well, you guys, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for taking the time out of your day. I know you guys are on the job site, never-ending workers. And I appreciate you so much. And we look forward to kind of following along. And thank you so much for being a part of our free community today.
Of course.
No, thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
All right.
You have a
Wishing
great
guys all
day.
the best. Bye.
Thank you.
too.
Everybody stay sober.
Nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you. No, okay. So it is Ryan's birthday, so happy birthday, Ryan. And I want to thank you guys and just know that I'm sending each of you a free shirt that will get there very soon. So thank you so much for being a part of our free community. We're grateful to have you part of it. That was cool, right? Yeah. So if you want to follow Victor on TikTok or Instagram, he is at Victor the Good Boss. He does a lot of cool stuff. He's just a really neat guy, so I'm glad we were able to do that. All right, you guys, the way we close things down on a Saturday night is the same way that we started, except with heartaches. The burdens that you carry, you don't have to carry them alone. We can be together as a community. You are not alone in your heartaches or your burdens. And we believe that God always hears the cries of the people. So if you are joining us online, you can drop your heartaches in the comment section of YouTube or Facebook, and we will be together with you as we pray together for heartaches. So I am going to have Darren and Austin come around with a mic. We'll take 3 minutes, and if you have a heartache, something weighing heavy on you, raise your hand and we'll pray together.
I'm Paige, and a kid from my hometown OD'd 2 days ago, so just praying for his family and everybody that was close to him.
Praying for that family, Paige. Anybody else? All right, well, if we don't have any additional heartaches here this evening, can I have my Sobro, Kira, join me up here?
What's up, Sobro?
Hi. We only have one. Mm-hmm.
Juanita Johnson, praying for healing of the hurt and feeling alone and abandonment. My addiction hurt my kids and our bond, asking for prayer while I move into sober living and fixing my life and gaining the trust of my family again. Yes, prayers for you, Juanita.
Prayers for you, Juanita. If addiction is a family disease, then recovery is the family cure. So we are praying for you. Thank you for joining me. All right, you know, the truth is we do not exist without your generous giving. And it takes your giving to keep the mission going here at Free. And I know that there are many of you who make this a spiritual practice, but your giving does help impact this community and breaking the silence of addiction. And so you can donate via 3 ways. We have the donation box here that Paul is shining his light on, as well as out of those doors there. And if you're more of a fan of the electronic way, we do have 3 online options. We have the app, which you can give once, weekly, or monthly. And also all of our content is available on our app. Or you can go to the website, or you can text the number on the screen, and all of 3 of these options are safe and secure ways of giving, and we truly, truly appreciate your generosity. Can we close out with a prayer? I just want to, before we do this, I just want to say thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to share this message with you tonight and to be such a part of this community. I cherish you guys, so I really appreciate this opportunity. Let's just take a deep breath. Let's just kind of settle in. It's really cold outside. Let's feel that warmth inside. And we are going to, I invite you to open your hands as a sign of openness. And we're going to close tonight with a 3rd step prayer. If you don't know it, it's on the screen. God, I offer myself to thee, to build with me, and to do with me as thou wilt. Relieve me of the bondage of self, that I may better do thy will. Take away my difficulties, that victory over them may bear witness to those I would help of thy power. Thy love and thy way of life, may I do thy will always. My friends here at Free, may you go out tonight knowing that you are a stronger version of yourself and that you are divinely created Kintsugi pottery. Have a great night.